Hey, Celtics Nation. We're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Boston Celtics. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. This way, you'll always stay up to date and never miss out on any exclusive news. Pritchard, the young and electrifying guard who had captured the hearts of Boston Celtics fans with his relentless energy, precision shooting, and uncanny ability to read the game, has officially announced his departure from the team, sending shockwaves across the NBA community. Rumors have been swirling for weeks, whispers circulating through locker rooms, sports bars, and social media feeds, but now the news is undeniably real, marking the end of an era for the Celtics roster that had begun to rely on Pritchard's versatile presence. Fans are in disbelief, struggling to reconcile the idea of a player who grew up in the Celtics system leaving the very team that drafted him, a team that had become almost synonymous with his development and rise. His announcement, delivered through a heartfelt statement on his social media platforms, conveyed a mixture of gratitude, nostalgia, and hope for the future, while cleverly leaving just enough ambiguity to fuel speculation about his next destination. Analysts immediately began dissecting the implications for both the player and the franchise, weighing the potential gaps his exit might leave in Boston's lineup and how the team's strategy may need to shift in response. Teammates, many of whom had developed a close camaraderie with Pritchard over countless practices, road trips, and high-pressure playoff games, took to their own channels to express a mixture of support, sadness, and incredulity, sharing behind-the-scenes anecdotes that highlighted not just his skill on the court, but his character off it. Meanwhile, rival teams were rumored to be circling, assessing where Pritchard might land and how his unique skill set could alter their own dynamics. This moment, both shocking and inevitable to some, represents a pivotal turning point not just for Pritchard, but for the Celtics' trajectory in the upcoming seasons, raising questions about leadership, depth, and the evolving identity of a team long steeped in tradition, yet always chasing the next championship window. Fans and pundits alike are now left to speculate endlessly, crafting theories, leaks, and predictions in forums, podcasts, and comment threads, each narrative more speculative than the last, feeding the kind of media frenzy that only a high-profile departure of this nature can generate. The timing of Pritchard's departure adds another layer of intrigue to an already complex situation in Boston, a city that has celebrated and mourned its basketball legends with equal intensity over the decades. For months, whispers had suggested friction behind the scenes, subtle disagreements over minutes, roles, and the direction of the team's strategy, yet no one could have anticipated a full-blown exit at this juncture of the NBA calendar. As sports reporters and insiders began piecing together timelines and potential negotiations, theories emerged regarding the influence of salary caps, team rebuilding strategies, and Pritchard's personal aspirations, all of which seemed to converge into this unavoidable decision. Social media exploded with fan reactions, ranging from heartbreak and anger to understanding and admiration for a player making a bold career move. Former teammates shared their perspectives, some hinting at locker room dynamics that might have subtly shaped the decision, while coaches and front office personnel remained tight-lipped, fueling further speculation and leaving the narrative wide open for interpretation. Boston Celtics fans, long accustomed to witnessing dramatic storylines unfold in real time, felt a familiar sense of suspense and anticipation, as if the city itself had paused to collectively process this sudden upheaval. Meanwhile, sports analysts dissected Pritchard's potential impact on the broader NBA landscape, considering how his departure might shift power dynamics in the Eastern Conference, influence playoff projections, and alter the competitive balance of rival teams eagerly tracking his next move. Every potential landing spot for Pritchard, from a contending team seeking depth to a rebuilding franchise hoping for a spark, became a subject of intense rumor-mongering, with insiders hinting at secret meetings, preliminary offers, and the behind-the-scenes maneuvering that defines modern professional sports. The narrative quickly transformed from a simple player exit into a sprawling saga, where every tweet, report, and fan theory became part of a larger tapestry, shaping perceptions and expectations long before any official deal could be finalized. The emotional resonance of Pritchard's departure extends far beyond statistics or gameplay. It's a story steeped in connection, loyalty, and identity, aspect that fans sometimes overlook, but which define the very essence of a franchise like the Celtics. In locker rooms, gyms, and courts across Boston, his presence had become more than a contribution to the scoreboard. It was a symbol of perseverance, a narrative thread that connected rising rookies with veteran leadership, a bridge between seasons of rebuilding and moments of unexpected triumph. Rumors of his exit, initially dismissed as exaggerated speculation, now seem inevitable, as insiders have confirmed through indirect channels that negotiations with other teams are progressing rapidly, and Pritchard himself has expressed readiness to explore opportunities that could elevate his career trajectory in new directions. Commentators and pundits have begun to debate what this means for Boston's future, questioning whether the team will aggressively pursue a replacement, restructure their strategy around remaining stars, or embrace a longer-term rebuild that acknowledges Pritchard's departure as a turning point. The media frenzy surrounding the announcement reflects the intense passion of NBA fandom, where every hint, every social media post, every cryptic message becomes part of a swirling narrative that fans dissect relentlessly. Beyond the court, Pritchard's decision highlights broader conversations about player agency, career planning, and the difficult balance between personal ambition and team loyalty, issues that resonate deeply in a league increasingly shaped by mobility and negotiation. Analysts speculate on potential trades, free agent signings, and draft strategies, all intertwined with the emotional undertone of losing a player who has become emblematic of a particular era in Boston basketball history. Fan reactions oscillate wildly between sorrow, anger, admiration, and speculative excitement, with forums and comment sections becoming virtual stadiums where debates rage and theories multiply. The story, while centered on one player's choice, reverberates across an entire franchise ecosystem, touching coaches, executives, teammates, and fans, each interpreting the event through a lens colored by their personal connection to Pritchard and the team's legacy. As weeks progress, every rumor, leak, and analyst prediction will continue to fuel the narrative, sustaining an ongoing dialogue that transforms a single departure into a multi-layered saga of speculation, emotion, and basketball intrigue. Sources close to the situation have suggested that Pritchard's decision did not occur in isolation, hinting at a convergence of personal ambition, career strategy, and timing considerations that made leaving Boston the most compelling option at this moment. Speculation abounds regarding which franchises have expressed interest, with whispers pointing to both contending teams looking for a versatile guard and rebuilding squads seeking a player with a high ceiling who could provide leadership and scoring punch. The rumor mill has been relentless, with insiders dropping hints about clandestine meetings, exploratory discussions, and preliminary evaluations that paint a picture of a highly orchestrated, if still fluid, negotiation process. Fans have become amateur detectives, parsing every public appearance, every cryptic social media post, and every indirect statement to decipher the next chapter of Pritchard's career. The media landscape has exploded with commentary, podcasts, videos, and opinion pieces attempting to contextualize the move, weighing not just the immediate roster implications, but the long-term strategic consequences for the Celtics and the league at large. Analysts debate whether Boston will double down on its current roster, aggressively pursue a high-profile replacement, or pivot toward nurturing young talent in response to the sudden gap created by Pritchard's exit. Teammates have shared their reflections, highlighting Pritchard's influence both on and off the court, reinforcing the idea that his departure is as much an emotional event as a professional one. Meanwhile, rival teams are rumored to be adjusting their strategies in anticipation of Pritchard's potential arrival, calculating rotations, lineups, and plays that could maximize the impact of a player known for his basketball IQ, shooting touch, and dynamic movement. Every report, no matter how small, is scrutinized, amplified, and dissected, creating an ongoing narrative that transcends standard sports reporting, merging rumor, speculation, and anticipation into a continuous conversation that keeps fans hooked. The financial aspects of Pritchard's departure add another layer of complexity to the ongoing discussion, with salary cap considerations, contract negotiations, and potential trade packages dominating insider chatter. Reports suggest that Boston's management faced a difficult balancing act, weighing the benefits of retaining a player who had developed within their system against the financial flexibility and strategic options that could open up by allowing him to pursue opportunities elsewhere. The interplay between Pritchard's ambitions, team objectives, and the league's broader economic structure has created a rich field for speculation, prompting analysts to model various scenarios that consider both immediate roster shifts and multi-year planning implications. Fans have become intensely invested in dissecting every numerical detail, from potential salaries to trade value, imagining how different outcomes could reshape the Celtics' prospects and influence Pritchard's career trajectory. Meanwhile, social media platforms have become hotbeds of debate, with fans, commentators, and former players weighing in on the financial, strategic, and emotional ramifications, often blending factual reporting with subjective opinion, further blurring the line between news and speculation. The story has evolved into a multidimensional narrative, encompassing personal ambition, team dynamics, market forces, and fan sentiment, each layer adding depth and complexity to an already high-stakes situation. Every rumor, leak, or report is immediately amplified, scrutinized, and discussed, creating a perpetual cycle of anticipation, interpretation, and reinterpretation. Analysts continue to speculate on the ripple effects throughout the league, considering how Pritchard's departure could trigger other movements, influence free agent decisions, and shift competitive balance, reinforcing the idea that this is far more than a single-player story. The evolving narrative, fueled by emotion, economics, and speculation, ensures that Pritchard's exit will remain a topic of conversation long after the announcement itself, illustrating the layered complexity of modern professional sports, where every action reverberates across multiple dimensions simultaneously. Despite the whirlwind of speculation, one consistent theme emerges. Pritchard's impact on the Celtics has been profound, and his absence will be felt in subtle yet significant ways. Observers note that his style of play, characterized by quick decision-making, off-ball movement, and precise shooting, was deeply integrated into the Celtics' offensive schemes, influencing how teammates positioned themselves, how plays developed, and how opponents approached defensive strategy. The sudden removal of such a pivotal piece forces the coaching staff to reassess, adapt, and potentially reinvent the team's approach, a process that insiders suggest will involve careful evaluation of remaining personnel, potential trades, and tactical adjustments. Meanwhile, fans are grappling with the emotional dimension of the news, recalling key moments, clutch performances, and the countless ways Pritchard contributed to the identity of the team, creating a bittersweet mix of nostalgia and anticipation for what comes next. Analysts and commentators continue to theorize about landing spots, contract implications, and the broader league dynamics, often leaning on historical comparisons and insider rumors to craft narratives that captivate audiences hungry for insight and speculation. In Boston, the conversation transcends pure basketball. It touches on community identity, cultural impact, and the symbolic weight of losing a player who had become a recognizable figure not just on the court, but in the city's collective consciousness. Every social media thread, sports forum, and podcast episode is now a canvas for interpretation, where fans, experts, and journalists layer their perspectives, blending factual reporting with conjecture, rumor, and analysis. The narrative is far from static. It evolves in real time, shaped by leaks, comments, and the gradual revelation of plans, ensuring that Pritchard's departure becomes a multi-chapter story that resonates across multiple audiences, leagues, and conversations. This combination of professional, emotional, and social factors cements the announcement as a defining moment for both the player and the franchise. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Rumors of Pritchard's potential destinations have ignited wild speculation, with names of possible teams circulating endlessly across social media platforms, sports networks, and insider reports. Some suggest a contender with a pressing need for a dynamic guard, someone who can slot seamlessly into an established system and provide scoring bursts in crucial moments, while others point to a rebuilding franchise that values his potential as a cornerstone for future growth. The uncertainty surrounding these possibilities has only fueled fan engagement, with forums, comment sections, and podcasts dissecting every hint, leak, and interview clip to predict outcomes. Insiders report that Pritchard has been in quiet discussions with multiple front offices, exploring fit, role, and long-term career trajectory, though nothing has been finalized, creating a sense of suspense and anticipation reminiscent of high-stakes trade deadlines. Analysts speculate on strategic motivations, suggesting that teams might be weighing short-term gains against long-term planning, while also considering the ripple effect Pritchard's signing could have on roster flexibility, playing time distribution, and locker room dynamics. Fans continue to speculate on potential pairings with existing stars, imagining lineups that could maximize his unique skill set, from perimeter shooting to playmaking and defensive versatility. Every theory, whether grounded in fact or conjecture, contributes to a collective conversation that keeps the story alive, highlighting how a single player's movement can dominate headlines, ignite discussions, and drive media cycles for weeks. The uncertainty itself becomes part of the spectacle, as audiences eagerly anticipate the moment when speculation transitions into concrete reality. In essence, Pritchard's departure has become a living narrative, one that evolves moment by moment, rumor by rumor, shaping perceptions, expectations, and the collective imagination of the basketball world. As speculation about Pritchard's next move intensifies, insiders suggest that his decision is as much about personal growth as professional opportunity, highlighting the delicate balance athletes navigate between loyalty and ambition. The whispers circulating in media circles indicate that multiple franchises are weighing not only his skills, but his potential as a cultural fit, someone who could galvanize locker rooms while complementing existing stars. Analysts have begun theorizing about the strategic chess game unfolding behind the scenes, pondering how front offices might structure trades, leverage salary cap space, or use draft assets to entice a player of Pritchard's caliber. Fans dissect every interview, every social media post, searching for hidden clues, interpreting vague statements as confirmation of rumored destinations, fueling a cycle of speculation that grows louder with each passing day. The intrigue is amplified by the timing, as the league's calendar, playoff outlook, and free agent movement all intersect, creating a moment where anticipation and rumor blend seamlessly. Former teammates reflect publicly on his work ethic and on-court intelligence, providing narratives that deepen the emotional stakes, while rival teams quietly strategize about how acquiring him could alter their championship prospects. This period of uncertainty, filled with hints, innuendos, and carefully orchestrated leaks, transforms what could have been a straightforward announcement into an unfolding saga. Each rumor, confirmed or not, feeds the collective imagination of fans and pundits, turning Pritchard's next chapter into one of the most discussed storylines in the league. The fan reaction has been nothing short of a roller coaster, oscillating between heartbreak, anger, and admiration for Pritchard's courage to make such a bold career decision. Social media platforms have become arenas for debate, with hashtags trending and threads stretching into hundreds of replies, all dissecting the potential ramifications of his departure from Boston. Emotional attachment runs deep, as fans remember pivotal moments where Pritchard's clutch shots, relentless defense, and team-first mentality elevated the Celtics in critical games. Yet amid the sadness, there's a tangible sense of excitement, a shared curiosity about where he might land, and how his unique skill set could reshape another team's fortunes. Sports commentators and analysts join the fray, providing play-by-play analysis, statistical breakdowns, and hypothetical lineups that blend professional insight with speculative storytelling. Rumors about secret meetings, private discussions, and exploratory calls dominate news cycles, with every small leak magnified and scrutinized for hidden meaning. Meanwhile, the Celtics management remains a central figure in the conversation, with insiders hinting at strategic maneuvers to mitigate the impact of losing a player whose influence extended beyond scoring to leadership and morale. This complex web of emotion, strategy, and speculation transforms Pritchard's departure into a multi-layered narrative that engages audiences not just in Boston, but across the league, keeping everyone invested in the unfolding drama. League insiders suggest that Pritchard's exit may set off a domino effect, influencing trades, free agent signings, and roster adjustments across multiple teams. Analysts highlight that his departure creates both a vacuum and an opportunity. Boston must address a sudden gap in their lineup, while other franchises see the potential to acquire a versatile, intelligent guard who can immediately impact both ends of the floor. Rumors point to several teams in active discussions, weighing the balance between financial flexibility, roster composition, and championship ambitions, with scouts and executives conducting discreet evaluations to assess fit and long-term potential. Media outlets are flooded with breaking news alerts, speculative videos, and commentary that blend factual reporting with conjecture, amplifying the sense of urgency and drama surrounding the situation. Fans, as always, dissect every detail, from contract possibilities to playing style matchups, creating intricate theories about how Pritchard could thrive or struggle in different systems. Former teammates' interviews offer glimpses into his influence, reinforcing the emotional gravity of the departure while reminding audiences of the skill and character he brings to any team. The discussion extends beyond basketball mechanics, touching on leadership, adaptability, and the intangible qualities that define a player's impact in high-pressure environments. In this whirlwind of rumor, speculation, and strategic analysis, every tidbit becomes fuel for conversation, ensuring that Pritchard's decision reverberates far beyond the initial announcement and continues to dominate the narrative. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.